Well, I can't imagine what it must have been like back in the early 70s when in 1973 this headline appeared on the front of the Free Press. This was the headline in 1973. New Chapel will make Bethel largest Free Will Baptist church in the world. Can you imagine what was going on in the minds and the lives and in the hearts, first of all, of the people of Bethel Church? Some of you were there. Some of you remember those days. Some of you remember seeing that this building, this current structure, go up. But can you imagine, as people who were not a part of Bethel Church, who were just in this community, rode by seeing this massive building being constructed? Some of you might remember that. Some of you might have been even children then. I've heard all kinds of stories of the things that went on in this building before it got completed. There was all kind of basketball games and volleyball games and tennis matches, and I heard all kinds of children's activities that went on after hours in this big open room before it was completed. But can you imagine what was going on in this community? You know, I would love to have been in some of these cafes around here or in some of the restaurants as people were talking. What in the world are they doing over there at Bethel? What is that Paramore man? Has he lost his mind? Building a sanctuary that's going to see a couple of thousand in Kinston? That man and that church must be crazy. Well, I would agree with them on half of that. The man might have been a little crazy. But Mr. Paramore had a God-sized vision. He had a God-sized thinking process that God laid on his heart. Let me ask you something. Have you ever experienced something personally in your life that was God-sized? Well, you say, Chris, how do you know that? How do you know if what I've experienced is God-sized? If you've experienced something God-sized, it's something that happened in your life that you have no explanation for other than it had to be God. That's something God-sized. Have you ever experienced something like that in your life? I mean, you knew it could only be God working out the details. I want to introduce a series to you this morning entitled Ezra, Coming Together to Do God's Work. Turn with your Bibles with me to Ezra chapter 1. Over the next several weeks, we will begin talking about lots of things. As Brother Doug already mentioned to you today, today is the launch day for the Legacy Project. The Legacy Project, honoring our past and building on our future. Over the next several weeks, we're going to begin to talk about things like visions for the stewardship, strategy, leaving a legacy, opportunities. Those words that you saw on that little video clip this morning at the very beginning are going to be the mainstays of where we're going to be for the next several weeks as we journey through the book of Ezra. This morning I want to preach a message entitled A God-Sized Project. A God-Sized Project. One